Hello, my name is Harule Stokes, and I will be doing the Authortube Newbie Tag. I found out about this whole tag, whole Authortube in general, from watching Alexa Dunn. She was doing a video on publishing, and for my third book, I'm looking to actually go to a publisher, get an agent, go the whole traditional route, and basically try to see if I can make it in the big city. Basically, I currently have 2 books out, both self-published, and for my third book, which is a fantasy novel, those 2 books are sci-fi. My third book is fantasy, so I want to see if I can get representation, just to get a taste of what that would be like to be traditionally published, which I haven't had an opportunity to try yet. So this is my first time going that route. So that brought me to Alexa Dunn, who speaks a lot about traditional publishing. And from her channel, I saw the Authortube Newbie Tag thing, and I was like, this sounds really cool, Authortube. I'm an author. I like YouTube. I like community. Let's check out the Authortube. So that's what I'm doing now. And I got this from her Authortube Newbie Tag video. It was a bunch of questions, 13 in total, and I will be answering each one of those now. So, first question, how did you find out about Authortube? Alexa Dunn. What genres do you write in? My previous 2 books that are on sale on Amazon are Sectors and Fallen Sun. Both are considered sci-fi. I say considered because usually when you're doing something like sci-fi, it's not about the science and it's more about, the people involved. So both books are mostly about people, although they do touch on genetic engineering. Not touch on it, it's actually a big part of it. So genetic engineering is in there, and that's why it's sci-fi. My third book that I'm working on now is fantasy. So it's going to take place in ancient Mongolia, back during the Huns. So this is that's where I'm going this time. So let's see how that works out. So that was number 2. Okay, 3. What is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? Always adult, because I like to use profanity. God damn it. My first 2 books were present tense, and this book is past tense. Point of view, doesn't matter, first person, third, except second. I'm not rocking the second. That seems a little strange to me, so I'm not naturally drawn to second person. So if I actually write something in that tense, it will be very surprising to you and to me. So I did category, story, writing tense, point of view. Number 4, are you a plotter, pantser, or plantser? I am 100% plotter. I tried pantsing, did not work out well. Planting, I never heard of yet. I'm assuming that's a mixture of both. I think everybody does mixture of both. Even deep plotters, at some point they have to figure out as they go how the pieces fit together and what they're going to kind of be doing. Even if you plot it, like I do an outline, but at some point I have to say, okay, I have to get the character from point A to point B. What's the best way to do it? And that's not always mapped out on my outline. So I guess plantser would be more accurate, but I would still consider myself a plotter. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? I'm self-published and yet to be traditionally published. Fingers crossed, of course. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you are not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? I don't have a dream agent or publishing house. I'm not even thinking on that. I'm only halfway through, and that's just rough draft, so we have a good ways to go before I finish that book. I'm not aspiring to be targeting a particular publisher or agent. I'll see them as I go through the process. Maybe you guys will come with me. 7. What Authortube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? I think I'm going to be focusing on practical ideas, tips, and practical tips. Instead of like, people tend to just go through verbally what things you should and shouldn't do. What I'm going to probably be thinking of doing is actually doing some examples, writing examples of the things that I'm talking about. So if I talk about point of view for one, I'm going to do is give examples of how to manipulate point of view actually on the computer, so you guys will be seeing as I'm writing, and we will go from there. When did you start writing? This is number 8 now. I started writing first grade, honestly. I remember the first story I wrote. It had roaches in it, but I spelled roaches wrong because I sounded it out incorrectly. And I was very proud of that story. I remember keeping it, and I got an A. So I remember keeping the story, felt really good to write the story. Yeah, so I was super proud of that. And then, you know, as you go through, you start doing small things here and there. I wasn't a diligent reader, so I didn't really see myself as a writer until much later. Number 10, what authors have inspired your writing the most? What authors have inspired your writing the most? I would say 2 in particular. Daniel Keyes, Flowers for Algernon, and Frank Herbert, Dune. I think those 2 books broadened out a lot of my thinking around writing and storytelling and about psychology and how that works. Flowers for Algernon I read in high school, and that really made me go, wow, I love this. This is incredible. So that's where I started at, I would say. Although I liked Shakespeare and I liked Macbeth, Flowers for Algernon opened up the door. And then I read Dune, and I was like, the world can be gigantic. And this is what I want to be doing. So that was number. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? I schedule it. It's probably why I'm also a plotter. I schedule it early in the morning, like 4 o'clock. So I get my writing done usually then before I go to work. 12, do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? Straight up computer. I never would write by hand. That just sounds tedious and tiring. I'm tired just thinking about it. 13, what are you most looking forward to now that you are a part of Authortube? I'm part of Authortube? That's awesome. So what am I looking forward to? The community mostly. Yeah, it can be lonely as a writer because no one else I know really writes. So talking craft is not something I get to do very much, and I love talking craft. I loved looking at other people's work and kind of going over it, and you know, just getting to discuss what I do and being creative and what that means to me. I would like to talk about that more often. And hopefully with WriterTube, I'll get that community that I've been hungry for. So that's it, guys. That's all 13 questions. Oh, and I just wanted to add with the, what number was that? Number 7, what Authortube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? For that one, I should have also added that what I would like to do is also to take submissions. So I would kind of review the work live, not live. I don't want to go live. I mean, I could go live, but I would like to review the work and kind of talk about it and what things I see, what things that I would think would be better. But that's very subjective because how I would write a story is not how you would write a story. So it wouldn't really. It's just what I see, what I like and what I don't like. So it's kind of a critique, but I'm not going to go super deep into it. Try to chop up somebody's work. I don't need to do that. I think you guys writers in general know we tend to be more critical than most of our work. So, because there's so much to be critical of. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for the Authortube challenge. Not a challenge, but the Authortube Newbie Tag. And hopefully you guys will hear from me soon. I'm looking to shoot videos once a week. Once I get on schedule, you guys will see a lot more of me. All right. Peace.